It doesn't have to be a non-chiropractor. It could be a chiropractor. Of course, there's a recruitment process which would test the competencies that the council has established at any given time. I think one of the reasons why there's been some changes in the professional regulation framework since the establishment was that there's a general fear of the profession regulating itself. Which is why there's all sorts of checks and balances involved, ensuring that there are lay people on the committees. But of course they work best when there are people from the profession involved as well. So, for example, the General Council has an equal mix of registrants and non-registrants, or lay people as they're called in the business. And I think that provides for a really good framework to enable a chiropractic voice and a non-chiropractic voice, acting, if you like, on behalf of patients and the public. So people who have seen chiropractors and people who have not yet thought about seeing a chiropractor.
It's always puzzled me slightly, though, and I habitually, for the sake of convenience, refer to the GCC as the General Council for chiropractors and the GOSC as the General Council when I'm talking to osteopaths. But it's not, is it? The General Council is actually the body you've just spoken about.
That's right.
And what influence, what influence does that have over the GCC?
Well, again, the General Council is established in statute. It says there will be a council of 12 with an equal mix, as I said before, and the council has the duty to set the strategy of the organisation, what its focus should be, to agree policies, standards, for example. So when the GCC revises education standards or the code of practice, then it's the council who will agree those. And they also hold the executive, and particularly me as the Chief Executive and Registrar, to account. So the council meets on a quarterly basis and I produce the reports, my team produces the reports that enables the council to hold us to account. Now, in terms of involvement in fitness to practice, at an early stage, or as you say, the later stage when there's a formal process, then there is very little involvement. I have very little involvement in that. There is a system that's established. There's independent committees, and that independence is protected at all costs. And those decisions will go through. As the executive, our job in fitness to practice, for example, is to ensure that the case is handled well and the committees have the information it needs to carry out its work. We don't have any animus towards the chiropractor where that process goes on, although I imagine it feels like it, that the GCC is out to get me, as it were, but that's not our role. You said before, our responsibility is to take a complaint, and there are very few exceptions to us not being able to look at it.